If you are a beginner programmer, you might be wondering which programming language you should learn first. With so many languages out there, it can be difficult to decide which one is right for you. We will discuss the most popular programming languages in 2022 and what benefits they offer. It is 2022 and you want to learn a programming language, but which one should you choose? It can be difficult to decide which one is right for you. This video will discuss the most popular programming languages in 2022 and what benefits they offer. We will also give some tips on how to choose the right language for your needs. So whether you are a beginner or an experienced programmer, read on to find out which language you should learn first. What is a programming language? A programming language is a formal language that specifies a set of instructions that can be used to produce various kinds of output. Programming languages are used in computer programming to implement logic flows and algorithms. Levels of programming languages. Programming languages can be categorized by level. These levels relate to the level of abstraction from the machine code that runs on a computer. Low-level programming language, high-level programming language. Low-level languages. A low-level language is a programming language that provides little or no abstraction from a computer's instruction set architecture. Low-level languages are typically used to write system software, such as operating systems and device drivers, or to access hardware devices. Examples of low-level programming languages include machine code and assembly language. Machine code is a low-level language. It is the only language that can be directly executed by the computer. Assembly language is a low-level language. It is a human-readable form of machine code that can be more easily written and understood by programmers. However, it is difficult for humans to read and write machine code. As a result, programming languages were developed that allow humans to write code that is easier for them to read and understand. High-level languages. A high-level language is a programming language that provides abstraction from a computer's instruction set architecture. High-level languages are typically used to write application software such as word processors and spreadsheets. Examples of high-level programming languages include JavaScript, Python, C++, and Java. While high-level languages are easier for humans to read and write, they must be translated into machine code before they can be executed by a computer. This translation is typically done by a compiler or an interpreter. Compilers. A compiler is a program that translates source code written in a high-level language into machine code. The machine code can be directly executed by the computer. Interpreters. An interpreter is a program that translates and executes source code written in a high-level language. The machine code is not directly executed by the computer. Types of programming languages. There are many different types of programming languages. Some languages are designed for specific purposes, while others are more general purpose. Examples of specific purpose programming languages include SQL. SQL is a language used for managing data in databases. HTML. HTML is a markup language used for creating web pages. CSS. CSS is a style sheet language used to describe a web page's presentation. Examples of general-purpose programming languages include C++. C++ can be used for a variety of purposes, such as system software, application software, and games. Java. Java is a language that can be used for web applications, mobile applications, and big data. Python. Python is a versatile language that can be used for things such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and web development. What is a programming paradigm? A programming paradigm is a way of thinking about programming. It is a conceptual model that dictates how we should write our code. There are many different types of programming languages. Some are more versatile than others and can be used for a variety of purposes. Others are more specialized and are designed for specific tasks. When it comes to learning a programming language, there are different types of programming paradigms that can be followed. These include logic programming, object-oriented programming language, scripting programming languages, functional programming languages, procedural programming languages. Each type of paradigm has its own set of benefits and drawbacks. For instance, logic programming is great for solving complex problems but can be difficult to read and understand. On the other hand, object-oriented programming languages are much easier to read and write, but may not be as powerful when it comes to solving complex problems. While there are many different programming paradigms, most programming languages can be classified as either imperative or declarative. Imperative programming languages are based on the concept of commands. Commands are instructions that tell the computer what to do. Declarative programming languages are based on the concept of expressions. Expressions are statements that describe what should be done, but they don't specify how it should be done. Logic programming. Logic programming is a type of programming language that is based on formal logic. It is typically used for artificial intelligence applications. Programs written in a logic programming language are sets of logical statements. These statements can be used to deduce new facts or solve problems. Logic programming languages include Prolog and LISP. Object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is a paradigm that is based on the concept of objects and their interactions. Objects are self-contained units that have data and behavior. Object-oriented programming languages include C++, Java, and Python. Scripting programming languages. Scripting programming languages are high-level languages that are designed for automating tasks. They are typically used to write small programs or scripts. Scripting programming languages include Perl, PHP, and Python. Functional programming languages. Functional programming is a paradigm that is based on evaluation of functions. Functions are self-contained units of code that take input and produce output. Functional programming languages include Haskell and Lisp. JavaScript can also be used as a functional programming language. Procedural programming languages. Procedural programming focuses on the step-by-step execution of a set of instructions. Procedures are self-contained units of code that carry out a specific task. Procedural programming languages include C and Pascal. If you are not sure what type of programming you want to do, you should consider learning a scripting language. Scripting languages like JavaScript are typically easy to learn and can be used for a wide range of tasks. What are the most popular programming languages in 2022? According to the 2021 Stack Overflow Developer Survey, the most popular programming technologies in 2022 are JavaScript, HTML and CSS, Python, SQL, Java, Node.js, TypeScript, C#, Bash Shell, C++, PHP, C, PowerShell, Go, Kotlin, Rust, Ruby, Dart, Assembly, Swift. Each of these languages has different benefits that make them well suited for different purposes. To choose the right language for your needs, you should consider what you want to use the language for. If you are interested in web development, then JavaScript or PHP might be a good choice. Python might be a good choice if you are interested in data science or machine learning. If you are interested in game development, then C++ might be the one for you. And if you are looking for a versatile language that can be used for a variety of applications, then C# is worth a look. No matter what your goals are, there is language out there that's perfect for you. So don't be afraid to experiment and find the one that fits your needs. Top programming languages for web development. Now that we have gone over the different types of programming languages, let's take a look at some specific languages. Web development is one of the most popular types of programming. If you are a developer in 2022, chances are high that you are a web developer. There are a number of different languages that are commonly used for web development. In 2022, we think it's smart to pick a first language that you can put to use in the browser, and our recommendations are informed by this philosophy. JavaScript. JavaScript is the most popular programming language in the world, and it is one of the easiest to learn. It is also one of the few languages that can be used on both front-end and back-end of web development. If you already know that you want your focus to be web development in 2022, JavaScript should be your first language. Pros of JavaScript. It is popular, so there are a lot of resources and community support. It is easy to learn for beginners. It can be used on both the front end and back end of web development. Cons of JavaScript. It is not always easy to debug code because it is not a compiled language. The syntax can be confusing to interpret at first, compared to tools like Python that are designed to look more like natural languages. Python. Python is another language that is used for web development, and it is a heavyweight like JavaScript in terms of popularity. It is a versatile scripting language that can be used for a wide range of tasks, from automating tasks to powering scientific research. Python is a great language to learn if you are interested in pursuing a career in web development or data science. Pros of Python. It has a clear and concise syntax. It is easy to learn for beginners. It has a wide range of applications. Cons of Python. It is not as fast as some other languages. It has a limited number of web development frameworks. Ruby. Ruby is another versatile language that can be used for web development. It is known for being a relatively easy language to learn, and it's used in popular frameworks like Ruby on Rails. Ruby is a great choice for beginners because it has a very readable syntax. It is also popular in the startup community. Pros of Ruby. The syntax is very readable and concise. It is used in popular frameworks like Ruby on Rails. It is popular in startup community. Cons of Ruby. Some people find it difficult to learn, not as popular as some other languages. There are relatively few resources compared to other languages. PHP. PHP is a popular scripting language that is used for web development. It is a great language to learn if you are interested in creating dynamic web applications. PHP is often used in content management systems (CMS) like WordPress and Drupal. Pros of PHP. It's used in popular content management systems (CMS) like WordPress and Drupal, leading to stable ongoing demand. It is versatile and can be used for web development, scripting, and more. It is relatively easy to learn. Cons of PHP. No longer as popular as some other languages for web development. Some people find the syntax confusing. Swift. Swift is a newer language that was created by Apple. It is a powerful and fast language that can be used for web development, mobile app development, and more. Swift is a great choice if you are interested in creating iOS or macOS apps. Pros of Swift. It is a powerful and fast language. It is easy to learn and read. It can be used for web development, mobile app development, and more. Cons of Swift. Not as many resources available as some other languages. You need a Mac to develop iOS apps. Kotlin. Kotlin is a newer language that was created by JetBrains. It is a versatile language that can be used for web development, Android development, and more. Kotlin is a great choice if you are interested in creating cross-platform applications. Pros of Kotlin. It is a concise and expressive language. It is compatible with Java. It has great tooling support. Cons of Kotlin. It is a newer language, so there is not as much documentation available. You may have to learn some Java to use Kotlin effectively. Kotlin is a great choice for those who are interested in creating cross-platform applications. Go. Go is a language that was created by Google. If you are looking for a fast and powerful language that is versatile, go with Go. It might be a little more difficult to learn than some other languages, but it will be worth it in the end. Go is a great choice if you are interested in creating scalable applications. Pros of Go. It is fast and powerful. Go is great for multiple purposes like web development and distributed systems. It is great for scalable web applications. Cons of Go. It can be difficult to learn if you are coming from a different programming language, a relatively new language, so there is not as much documentation available. Java. Java is a versatile language that can be used for web development. Java is a versatile language that can be used for web development, Android development, and more. Java is a great choice if you are interested in creating cross-platform applications. Pros of Java. It is a versatile multi-purpose language. Java is great for creating cross-platform applications. Cons of Java. Java can be a bit verbose. Not as popular for web development as it once was. It can be slower than other languages. Java can be difficult to learn for beginners. C#. C# is a Microsoft language that is often used for web development, desktop applications, and more. C# is a great choice if you are interested in creating Windows applications or games. Pros of C#. It is fairly easy to learn. C# is a versatile language that can be used for a variety of applications. It has great tools and resources available. Cons of C#. It can be more difficult to learn than the popular beginner-friendly languages. The C# community is a bit small compared to others. The best programming language to learn first. What language should I learn first? If you are asking yourself this question in 2022, the answer is probably JavaScript. JavaScript is the most popular programming language in the world and it's versatile enough to be used for a wide range of applications. It's a great choice for beginners because it is easy to learn and plenty of resources are available. Python is a versatile scripting language that can be used for a wide range of tasks. It has a clean syntax and is renowned for being easy to learn and read. It is very popular and Python skills are in high demand. PHP is another language that was created for web development and powers some of the largest websites in the world. It's fairly easy to learn, especially if you have some experience with HTML and CSS. It used to be the most popular language on the web, but it has since been overtaken by JavaScript. If you intend to do any web development, you will be using JavaScript at some stage. It is a very safe bet in the terms of approachability, demand, and practicality. If you are starting from scratch and still figuring out what you will focus on in development, the best programming language to learn first is Python. PHP, Java, and C# are all great languages with a lot to offer. However, if you want the most bang for your buck, learning Python will give you the ability to tackle the widest range of problems and projects. Get started with coding. To get started with programming, it is important to find resources that fit your learning style. If you are a visual learner, look for tutorials and text-based resources that include pictures and diagrams. If you are an auditory learner, look for podcasts or video tutorials. If you are a hands-on learner, look for resources that let you practice coding in your browser. Once you have found resources that work for you, the best way to learn to program is to dive in and start coding. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone makes them. The important thing is that you learn from your mistakes and keep practicing. Connecting with a development community. As you are learning, it is also important to find a community of other programmers to connect with. You can find online communities for almost any programming language, and these communities can be a great source of support and encouragement. When you are just getting started, it is normal to feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information out there. But don't worry, you don't need to learn everything at once. Just focus on one thing at a time, and you will be surprised at how quickly you progress. Don't get discouraged when debugging gets dire. No matter which language you choose to learn first, the most important thing is that you enjoy the process and don't get too discouraged. The best way to learn a programming language is by writing code. Learning to code is a challenge, but it is also incredibly rewarding. So get out there and start learning.